Practice test 4. Which practice provides visibility of the organization's service by capturing demand and reporting on service performances? Service level management. Service level management provides the end-to-end visibility of an organization's service. To achieve this, service level management should capture and report on the service issues, including performance against the defined service levels. Which is a key consideration for guiding principle. Keep it simple and practical. Understand how each element contributes to the value creation. When analyzing a practice, process, service metric, or other improvement targets, always ask whether it contributed to value creation. What is defined as any component that needs to be managed in order to deliver an IT service? Configuration item, CI. Configuration item, any component that needs to be managed in order to deliver an IT service. Which practice has proposed to support the quality of the service by handling all agreed user-initiated service requests? Service request management. The purpose of the service request management practice is to support the agreed quality of a service by handling all the predefined user-initiated service requests in an effective and user-friendly manner. What is the expectation outcome from using a service value chain? Value realization. Service value chain outlines the key activities required to respond to demand and facilitate value realization through the creation and management of products and services. Which role submit the service request? The users or their authorized representative. The definition of service request is request from a user or a user authorized representatives that initiate a service action which has been agreed as normal part of service delivery. Why should incidents be prioritized? To ensure the incidents with highest business impact are resolved first. Incidents are prioritized based on agreed classification to ensure that incidents with the highest business impact are resolved first. What helps diagnose and resolve the simple incident? The use of script. The use of script helps diagnose and resolve a simple incident. What is the primary use of the change schedules? To plan change and help avoid the conflict. To support the incident management and improvement planning. To change the schedule is used to help plan changes, assist in communications, avoid conflict, and assign the resources. How does the customer engagement contribute to the service level management practices? Capture information that metrics can be based on. It supports progress discussions. Customer engagement is involved in initial listening, discovery, and information capture, on which to base metrics, measurement, and ongoing progress discussions. Identify the missing words in the following sentences. Utility is functionally offered by a product or service to meet the particular need. Utility, the functionally offered by product or service to meet particular need. What should all continual improvement decisions be based on? Accurate and carefully analyzed data. Accurate data carefully analyzed and understood is the foundation of the fact-based decision-making for improvement. The continual improvement practices should be supported by relevant data sources and by skilled data analytics to ensure that each potential improvement situation is sufficiently understood. What is the reason for using balanced bundle of the service metrics? It provides an outcome-based view of services. They should be related to define the outcomes and not simply operational metrics. This can be achieved with balanced bundles of metrics. Which of these keys focus on organization and people's dimension, roles and responsibilities? The organization and people dimension of service covers roles and responsibilities, formal organization structures, culture, and required staffing and competencies, all of which are related to creation, delivery, and improvement of a service. Identify the missing word in the following sentence. A service is a means of enabling value co-creation by facilitating outcomes that customers want to achieve, without the customer having a management specific cost and the risk. Cost and the risk. Service are means of enabling value co-creation by facilitating outcomes that customer want to achieve without the customer having managed specific cost and risk. Which guiding principle recommends using the minimum number of steps necessary to achieve an objectives? Keep it simple and practical. In Keep it simple and practical guiding principle, if a progress, service, action, or metrics fails to provide a value or produce a useful outcome, eliminate it. In a process or procedure, use the minimum number of steps necessary to accomplish the objective, which is considered by guiding principle focus on value, customer and user satisfaction. An important element of value is experience that service customers have when they interact with the service and the service provider. The frequently called customer experience (CX) or user experience (UX), depending on the adapted definitions, and it must be actively managed. How should automation be implemented? By replacing human intervention wherever possible. In optimizing an automated guiding principle, you need to eliminate anything that is truly wasteful and use technology to achieve whatever it is capable of. Human intervention should only happen where it contributes value. Which statement of cost is correct? Costs removed from the consumer are part of the value proposition. Costs removed from the customer are part of the value proposition. Which of these continuous include managing resources that are configured to deliver service? Service provision. Service provision refers to the activities performed by an organization to provide services. It includes management of the provider's resources configured to deliver the service. Identify the missing word in the following sentence. Blank is the practice of ensuring that risks are properly assessed, authorizing changes to proceed, and managing a change schedule in order to maximize the number of successful IT changes. Change enablement. The purpose of the change enablement practice is to maximize the number of successful service and product change by ensuring that risks have been properly assessed, authorizing changes to proceed, and managing the change schedule. Which practice identifies metrics that reflect the customer experience of a service? Service level management. Service level management identifies metrics and measures that are truthful reflection of the customer's actual experience, and the level of satisfaction with the whole service and engagement is needed to understand and confirm the actual ongoing needs and the requirement of customers, not simply what is interpreted by the service provider or has been agreed several years before. How does the service consumer contribute to the reduction of the risk? By communicating constraint. The consumer contributes to the reduction of the risk through activity participating in the definition of the requirement of the service and the classification of its required outcomes, often ongoing basis. Clearly communicating the critical success factors (CSFs) and constraints that apply to the service. What describes normal changes? Changes that need to be scheduled and accessed following a process. Normal changes. These are changes that need to be scheduled, accessed, and authorized following the process. Which concept describes the service value chain? Service value system. The components of the service value system are guiding principle, governance, service value chain, practices, and continual improvement. What should be done for each problem? It should be prioritized based on its potential impact and probability. Problems are prioritized for analysis based on risk and then risk that they pose and are managed as risk based on their potential impact and probability. The use of blank measurement should support, not replace what is observed when using the start where you are guiding principle. Measurement. The use of measurement should support, not replace what is observed when using the start where you are guiding principle. Which are the practices make use of the service desk practice are capture demand, incident management, and request management. The purpose of service desk practice is to capture the demand for incident resolution and service request. What is the purpose of the information security management practices? Protecting an organization by understanding and managing risks to the potentially integrity and availability of information. The purpose of the information security management practices is to protect information needed by the organization to conduct its business. This includes understanding and managing risks to the confidentiality, integrity, and availability CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. Identify the missing word in the following sentence. An event, any change of state that has significance for the management of a blank or other configuration items. Service. Event, any changes of state that has significance for the management of service or other configuration items. What is the purpose of the incident management practice? Minimizing the negative impact of incident by restoring normal service operation as quickly as possible. The purpose of the incident management practice is to minimize the negative impact of incident by restoring normal service operation as quickly as possible. Why is it important to set target resolution times in incident management? They enable the management of customer and user expectations. Target resolution times are aged, documented, and communicated to ensure the expectations are realistic. What happens if workaround becomes the permanent way of dealing with a problem that cannot be resolved cost effectively? The problem remains in the known error status. An effective incident workaround can become a permanent way of dealing with some problems when resolving the problem if it is not viable or cost effective. In this case, the problem remains in the known error status. Which is the key activities in the continual improvement practices? Creating business cases. Key activities that are part of continual improvement practices include encouraging continual improvement across the organization, securing time and budget for continual improvement, identifying and logging improvement opportunities, assessing and prioritizing improvement opportunities, making business cases for improvement action, planning and implementing improvement, measuring and evaluating improvement results, coordinating improvement activities across the organization. What is the purpose of the monitoring and event management practices? Systematically observing service and service component and recording and reporting selected changes of state identified as event. The purpose of the monitoring and event management practices is to systematically observe services and service component and record and report selected changes of state identified as event. Identify the missing words in the following sentence. The purpose of the service system is to ensure that organization continually co-creates value with stakeholders in line with the organization's object. The purpose of the SBS is to ensure that the organization continually co-creates value with the stakeholders through the use and management of products and services. What does insufficient visibility of work lead to? Poor decision making. Insufficient visibility of workload, poor decision making, in which in turn impact the organization's ability to improve internal capabilities. Which is not an example of a service request. A request to resolve an unplanned interruption to service. Unplanned interruption to a service is a part of incident management practices. Which is the correct approach for managing large improvement initiatives as smaller interactions. Each iteration should be continually evaluated based on feedback. Each interaction should be continuously evaluated based on feedback. Correct approach is managing the large improvement initiatives as smaller iterations. Each iteration should be continually evaluated based on feedback. What is the difference between change enablement and then organizational change management? Change enablement manages changes to services and the product. Change organizational change management manages the people aspect of change. Change enablement manages changes to service and the product. Organizational change management manages the people aspect of change. Service requests are part of the normal service delivery. Complaints can be handled as a service request. Service requests are part of normal service delivery, and complaints can be handled as a service request are truly about service request management, which will not be handled as a service request. The delegation of a service, the degradation of a service, Degradation of a service is handled by incident management, but not by service request management. Which dimension of a service management encompasses contract and relationships? Partner and suppliers. Partner and suppliers dimension encompasses an organization's relationship with other organizations that are involved in the design, development, and delivery of a service. This dimension is built on relationships with other organizations. It must also incorporate contract and agreement required. What is the effect of increased automation on the service desk practice? Greater ability to focus on customer experience when personal contract is needed, which with increased automation, the impact on service desk is reduced phone contract, less low-level work, and greater ability to focus on excellent customer experience (CX) when personal contract is needed. Which is an activity of problem identification, performing trend analysis of incident record. Problem identification activities include performing trend analysis of incident record, detection of duplicate and recurring issues by users, service desk, and technical support staff. During major incident management, identifying a risk that an incident could reoccur, analyzing information received from suppliers and partners, analyzing information received from internal software developers, test teams, and project teams. What operating model outlines the key activities required to respond to demand and facilitate value realization through the creation and management of product and services. Service value chain. Service value chain is a central element of the service value system and is an operating model outlining the key activities required to respond to demand and facilitate value realization through the creation and management of the object of product and services. Which source of information for service level management, including asking questions such as what are your goals and how can we help you? Customer engagement. Customer engagement involves initial listening, discovery, and information capture on which to base metrics, measurement, and ongoing progress discussions. Consider asking customers some open questions such as what are your goals, objectives, and the measurement for this year? How may we help you more? Which practice enables user to ask for help and information? Service desk. Service desk provides a clear path for users to report issues, queries, and requests. Which step of the continual improvement model states that each improvement initiative should support the organization's goals and objectives? What is the vision? According to the step called What is the vision, each improvement initiative should support the organization's goals and objectives. Which describe the principle think and work holistically, using the four dimensions of service management to ensure coordination of all aspects of improvement initiatives. The guiding principle think and work holistically advise that service and delivered to internal and external service consumers through the coordination and integration of four dimensions of service management. Which is the best example of emergency case? The implementation of a security patch to a critical software application. Emergency changes are changes that must be implemented as soon as possible, for example, to resolve an incident or implement a secure patch. Which describe outputs, tangible or intangible deliveries. Output, tangible or intangible deliveries of an activity. which of are not key focus of the partners and suppliers dimension: workflow management and inventory systems. The partners and suppliers dimension focus on the organization relationships with the organizations that are involved in the design, development, deployment, delivery, support, and the continual improvement of service. This also incorporates contract and other agreement between the organizations and each partners and suppliers, which describe the steps an organization takes in the creation of value. Service value chain. The service value chain outlines the key activities required to create value in the response to demand through the creation and delivery of products and services. Which guiding principle user experience from the one improvement activities to improve the next activities. Progress iteratively with feedback. Progress iteratively with feedback states that the organizing work into smaller, manageable sections that can be executed and completed in timely manner. It is easier to maintain a sharper focus on each effort, so using experience from the one improvement activity to improve the next activity. Why is co-created through activity collaboration between providers and consumers or value? A service as a means of enabling value creation by facilitating outcomes that customers want to achieve, without the customer having to manage specific cost and risk. Which dimension include workflow management system, information and technology. The information and technology dimensions include the information and knowledge necessary for the management of service, as well as the technology required. The technologies that support service management include, but not limited to, workflow management, knowledge bases, inventory systems, communication systems, and analytical tools. Which stakeholder co-create value in a service relationship? Customer and provider. Service relationship, cooperation between service provider and service consumer. Service relationship includes service provision, service consumption, and the service relationship management. What defines requirement for service and takes responsibility for the outcomes of service consumption? A customer. A customer is a person who defines the requirement for a service and takes responsibility for outcomes of the service consumption. What are the guiding principles used to help an organization make good decisions? A guiding principle is a recommendation that guides an organization in all circumstances, regardless of changes in its goals, strategies, type of work, or management structure.